welcome to Together We Rise.
Starring mother-daughter dynamic duo Alicia Schwartz
and Rochelle Schwartz.
In collaboration with MAPS Global Events. Signing off.
Mwah. We are live. Wow.
Hi, everyone.
We are so happy to be here with you. We have a very, 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 very special guest with us, but
we wanted to say we're so excited. We're here. Together we rise once again.
I am. Last time I looked, I'm Rochelle Schwartz.
And I'm Coach Alicia Schwartz. And we are the mother-daughter dynamic duo, right?
Yes, we are. And we're so happy that you can be here this evening to enjoy our delicious conversation tonight. So, Nim, take it away.
Looking through the pages of our lives as we start out on this journey. Everywhere we look, a different sign, telling us where we will go. Feel the sunlight shining in your eyes, and the wind that's blowing through me.
Oh,
God,
we
every
so
time I
love-
hear that, I
we
just want
love
to hear
it.
more and more.
Jessie Campo. She is
a very dear friend of ours.
She's amazing. Composer, singer.
Yeah.
She was in the, where was she in again? Do you remember?
She travels all over the world. She's been on the red carpet, and she's a very special friend to us.
And she wrote that just for our
Yeah.
show, just for us. So thanks, Jessie.
Yes, thank you.
Follow
Thank
her
you.
on Instagram, right? Jessie
Yes.
Campo. All right. So before we get started, my mother-daughter dynamic duo mother.
We do have a lot of fun here. For nothing else, we have a lot of fun.
She's going to read from our beautiful mentor and teacher, Debbie Ford, Your Holiness.
I always start out with something because I think it's just such a good way to start off the conversations and grounding ourselves with some inspiration. And this is called the Holy Elixir. And it says, "Let me be God's alchemist. Let me turn water into wine, mud into gold, and my wounds into wisdom. Let me know a grateful heart." Mm-hmm. And I just love that. So
We love it.
without any further ado,
Finally, we get to be with this lovely woman. I'm sure most of you maybe know her already, but we know her well, and we're so excited to have her. Roche?
yes, so let's invite Blanca Greenstein down to the mic. And there she is.
Woohoo!
Hello, gorgeous ladies.
Hello.
Boy, it's so cool to see you and be with you. I feel like I'm
I
half
know. I
in,
don't
half
know
out.
why.
I don't know why either.
There we are. Thank you.
And so, what can I say? It's very special. And we are, so excited to have you on Together We Rise. And, it's so interesting where you were when I met you to where you are today. And it's like, wow, look at you and look at what you've gone through and how you deserve everything that you're receiving today. And I know in my heart, there's a lot more to come. So
you're on mute.
You're on mute, babe.
I am so thankful. And I actually, just as you said that, had the same thought. It's like, I'm not the same person I was when we met 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a big part of that is attributable to the two of you, because you guys have been a big part of my life, a big part of my journey, a big part of the laws of life that I've learned. So I love you both very much.
Wow, we love you too.
we
That's a
love you
very
too.
beautiful color, by the way.
Yeah,
Pink
that's
is
a great
nice on
color
you.
for you.
Thanks.
Really great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this topic tonight for the podcast, which is the self-empowered entrepreneur? What does that actually mean? Self-powered
Empowered.
or empowered? No, self-powered
No,
or
self-powered.
empowered.
Same, right?
Well, that's the name of the course. I did create a digital course, and that was part of my journey. And basically, I think one of the number one laws of life I've learned is you've got to be self-powered, meaning that you are responsible for your own journey, for the development of your mission, your brand, your product, your service, and you need to know how to do it yourself. So I taught myself all the digital skills and created a marketing agency, and then I created a course so that other people can be self-powered. And I think with self-power comes empowerment.
Yes, for sure.
That's very, very true.
Absolutely.
That really, really is. And I believe from where I'm at, when somebody, and I think I may agree with me or not, when somebody is not, doesn't know all the ins and outs of how to do that, would you suggest that they go for help or have somebody else do it if they're not able to?
Meaning if they're not
If they can't do it,
right.
if they just can't do it.
Anybody can do it, believe it or not. Even though I was an attorney for 24 years, I had no technical skill when I started my Laws of Life journey. I could barely create a credential on an app. Like, I could do nothing. But there is something called fear, right? For those that believe that they can't do it, I highly recommend hiring a coach for 4 to 6 hours and then getting over that fear. Because once you practice a little bit with someone guiding you, it's really not that difficult to do. It's totally possible. But that's why the tagline of my platform is life is an open book test. So if you have two ways to do it. Either you'll learn it yourself like I did, watching thousands of hours of YouTube videos. We have a free library in this world. It's called Google and YouTube. And there are thousands of videos. If you just slow down, which is something I learned from you, and listen and watch a video and read a book and just try to teach yourself, I truly find it hard to believe that someone couldn't watch a video and then try to do it. I used to try dozens of times. And then if I couldn't do it after I tried 100 times, then I'll pay a coach and have them help me through the gap. But anything's possible, guys. You can do it.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a mindset. It's a
I
mindset.
guess.
It's either you, yes, you do it or you don't, right?
Yeah, and I
100%.
know that you did. I definitely know you just put yourself right in it,
As
and
I think
didn't
as Bethany
stop.
says, balls to
To
the
the
walls.
That's right, baby. That's right.
It is. It's so, so true. So one of the questions that we asked is, and I always like this question because it just gives other people something to listen to. Like, we all have our lessons that we need to learn. And, sometimes you'll reach somebody or someone will hear it and they'll go, wow, if she can do it, if Blanca can do it, and I have that lesson as well. So she's inspiring me to do it. So what would be the biggest lesson that you've learned about you?
Well, I've learned so many. I think the biggest lesson is to never stop learning. That's one of the lessons. And to surround yourself with coaches that can help you learn more. I think the number one thing is you've got to have a healthy mindset. If the mind is not right, nothing can flow. You can't manifest, you can't grow, you can't get the money, you can't be abundant. You're not open to love. You know, I learned a lot from the two of you through my healing after divorce class that I took with you for 2 years. You coached me privately. That was life changing for me. And you taught me a lot. You taught me a lot. If I learn one thing, it's get some good coaches and some good mentors around you.
Yeah.
So what if you're in a really tough spot and you just can't manifest? What have you done besides going to other people? Or what else have you done? What other tool
Personally,
have you
your
used
own.
personally?
All right. Well, I mean, it's so interesting, but I would say, you know, I've interviewed over 2,000 people in my journey on the Laws of Life platform. So I've been exposed in a positive way to thousands of coaches. And the top 3 coaches for me in my journey are you, Rochelle Schwartz, and Alicia Schwartz, a relationship coach. Number 2, a meditation coach, Sunny Arfa. Massive influence, taught me how to quiet the mind. I still meditate every single day. And I can now have the most fascinating conversations with myself and listen to the messages from God, from the universe, from however you connect to source, but really listening to my intuition. And I never miss my meeting with myself. And number 3, vision coaching with Johnny Regan also really transformed me, because not only did he teach me vision, but he taught me the art of making a vision magical. It doesn't always have to be a big vision. Like yesterday, I had a vision. I wanted to make an art project on the beach, and I went to Walmart and I bought myself some Elmer's glue, and I bought myself some wooden sculptures, and I decorated them in the sand, and I didn't even look at anyone. I was in my space and my time. And after I finished, it only took me 20 minutes to complete the project. But another lesson flowed to me, which is not every vision has to be so grand and so big. Let's not forget to congratulate ourselves for the small victories. And then the other big piece for me has been fitness. I've lost over 70 pounds in the last 4 years. I exercise every morning now, walk on the beach every day. I live a very active lifestyle. I swim in the ocean. I walk 3 miles down the beach and I swim all the way back in the ocean if the water is calm. I mean, I'm strong, and I think that also helps promote a strong mind.
And what I
Absolutely.
like that you said, because I believe I saw it on Facebook, I saw, and we've often spoke about this, that this little girl came out to play. And that's so powerful. That's where you get that creativity and that connection to that little girl within you to come out and play with you.
100%. And you taught me that too. I'll never forget one of the exercises we did together. Unforgettable experience. So you definitely helped me. I always knew I was really a 7-year-old little girl in my heart, but I was never really conscious of it until you helped bring that out. But yeah, you know, we have a lot of different sides to our personality. And I used to say, you know, suppress that side. Don't let that light come into the prism. But you know what? I think you have to embrace all the sides, including your inner child.
100%.
Oh, God, yes.
And it's funny because you said, you know, you've learned through what we do to trust your intuition. And so this is a great question in spirit. If God could speak to you, what's the message he wants you to know? Like, what would it be?
I'll tell you, after everything that I've been through, I think that God knows the way, and you have to trust God. And this is something Camille Robb taught me, which is every single morning, praise God, praise Source. You've got to trust the universe. You've got to trust, even if something, quote unquote, bad happens.
Yeah.
And you want to know something that is so true, but I also know, and I think it's an exercise, and I do a lot of work through Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And what I know is one of the most important is to be grateful.
Mm-hmm. Gratitude
no matter
is the
what, the
attitude.
smallest little thing. Thank you. Thank you. I had a beautiful sleep. I had a delicious pillow. I had a comfortable blanket. I'm so grateful. And that gratitude is such a deep thing for every single one of us that makes us move forward so much quicker. It really does.
It's like what we're saying. Gratitude's the attitude.
Yeah,
Happy
absolutely.
mindset,
Yep.
exercise and prayer and meditation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you have, and I'm going back because did you have a harder time connecting to the God or whatever source or the divine or the universe? Did you at the beginning, because I know there are a lot of people at the beginning of their journey have a hard time connecting to that source, that intuition, that little tiny voice. Did you have a hard time? And if you did, how did you work through that to really get clarity and listen?
So after I went through my trauma, shall we say, the turning point, the door that I thought was the bad door, and I went into victim mode, and I went into, when you're in that mode and you feel that you're just stuck. It was how I have to say that the journey of meeting all these coaches is what helped me connect more and more deeply. I thought I was a connector until I met you. I wasn't a connector. I was completely disconnected. I thought that I had certain skills. I didn't. I thought I was authentic. I wasn't. So all the people that I just shared with you helped me overcome those blocks. But it's a very slow process. So the answer is this. I mean, for me, I can only speak for myself, is to keep going. And I also learned that connection is the most important thing. Every single person you meet has a lesson, a law of life to share. And so even if it's the bartender, even if it's the dry cleaning person, whoever it is, even a person I met on the airplane. I met this person on the airplane sitting next to me, and he taught me one lesson. He said, be a little bit more, be a lawyer that wins. Be a lawyer that wins. That's what people want. They don't just want a nice lawyer and an authentic lawyer and an open-minded lawyer. They want someone that's going to go deep into the case and find the right angle. So just this stranger that I'd never met taught me that. So I just love connecting with people and learning from them.
I love it because, we've been watching this thing on Netflix we told you about, right? The Suits. And I feel like we're lawyers already. I swear to God, we're not. Of course, we're not.
We're not.
But it's great to understand how law works. It's very interesting.
It really is.
So God bless. Thank you.
I sent you another show called Partner Track. You got to check that one out too.
Right, we did. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, we will
sure.
look at it. It's just fascinating. It's just fascinating, and I think it really helps people because sometimes you judge somebody thinking like, I'm going to get this case and screw it. But there's the other flip side to that person that really wants to help. They want to help the underdog, and I don't know if you have that in your experiences where someone would come to you and they're the underdog and you have to come in there and show them whatever it is that is their strengths or, whatever.
How you can prove the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of pro bono work in my career. And every client, regardless of their position or station in life, litigation is a very stressful journey in and of itself because you're exposed, you're under oath, you're in front of a judge, you're fighting your issue. But absolutely, the key. I'll tell you, if there's one law, whatever you do in business, whatever you do in life, have a good agreement and have it reviewed by an attorney. Because if
Absolutely.
you're anything you sign, it's official. You sign a real estate deal, you ain't getting out in a week just because you didn't
Correct.
understand it.
Exactly.
So
It's
you better
true.
be
You're
careful
right.
what you sign.
That is very true.
100%.
That really, really is.
You know, because it's not like it was maybe back in the day where you said,
A
here's my
handshake?
handshake and let's trust it. It's very rare. It still might happen, but it's very
It's so
rare.
rare.
And it's not good not to have it in writing, like you're saying. Have it in writing. This way, if anyone comes back to you, this is what you signed.
Yep.
This is what you agreed to. So there you go.
But let me also say this on the flip positive side of that. When you put something in writing, you're actually manifesting success more.
Yes.
Telling the
Agreed.
universe that you
Yes.
respect the relationship
Yep.
and more money will flow. So don't
Right.
only look at it as a negative, it's also a positive.
Yeah, 100%. So what's the one thing you want people to know about you, Miss Blanca?
That I am open to connection. If anybody out there listening or watching wants to consult with me on a legal issue, on a marketing issue, I'm always happy to provide a complimentary consultation. Or if you just want to say hello, share your story, I'm open. Okay? It's funny, when I was head of litigation for a publicly traded company, 5,000 people had my cell number, yet I was still able to answer my phone. When people tell me they can't answer their phone, that means you don't care to answer your phone.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
The one thing I do is answer my phone, and if I don't, if you text me, I'll call you back literally right away. So I'm always happy to help any of your listeners, any of our friends out there.
That is the truth, but that also is your integrity. It really is. It really is. So the other question is, what has been your biggest struggle in your life and how did you overcome it?
Well, the biggest struggle was when I was the victim of a financial crime. I lost my license for 3 years. That led to my personal divorce. It led to my business divorce. It led to the loss of my family home. I basically had a complete shift in my personal life. And obviously, that was very tough. But the way to get out of those tough times, and in the moment, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize I was on a journey to something even bigger. But now I'm trusting God, and I will continue to trust God. God forbid something bad happens. I'm just learning. Just take the act. Look, problems are going to happen. No one is immune from problems.
Absolutely.
But you must take action to act upon the problem. So I looking back on it, I'm really proud of how I handled my challenges. I hired the proper professionals to help me. I surrounded myself with mentors. I did whatever I could to take steps to correct the issues that arose. And that is all we can do. All we can do is our best. And we don't need to have a lot of material to be happy. Just get through the problem and keep going.
So I have a question. When this had happened, did you have shame, even though it wasn't your fault? Was there shame about that and then being able to speak about it?
Yeah, actually, that was part of my recovery in a way from this trauma, was to learn how to tell my story. Because every time I had a networking meeting, I told my story. Every time I was interviewed, I told my story. Every time I was in the public eye, I had put myself in the public eye through my platform. And at the beginning, yes, it was very emotional to tell the story. I had tremendous shame, tremendous embarrassment, tremendous sadness about not being a family unit. Even now when I'm walking on the beach and I see families playing with their children on the beach. And yes, we are a family, even though we're divorced, we do co-parent beautifully. And we spend time together in a very peaceful way as a family. But it was difficult to share that story. But now I've learned to be proud of my story, proud that I overcame it. And again, gratitude plays in. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful I'm not in a hospital. And I do say gratitude every morning.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh. Hello.
So the other question is, if you were going to give someone your best advice the best advice in life, what would it be?
My best advice is to get advice before you make a decision and you're not sure what to do. Get advice. Find the right coach, expert, lawyer, whatever that issue is. Be smart about your decision process, because one wrong decision can take you down a very painful pathway. Don't go cheap or you pay twice.
Yeah.
So my advice is to get advice.
Yeah.
Obviously, get advice from people that are smarter than
right.
you.
Yep.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, and that's great advice, because sometimes, we think we know and we get ourselves exactly what you're saying into trouble because we don't really know. So we should really ask the question, like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you think? Or go to
Exactly.
an attorney or
Right.
whatever you're
Yeah.
looking to do. A
Absolutely.
coach, if you need some, advice on relationships
Whatever.
and how to work through. And okay, that's good. All right. So here we go. What advice would you give to your little youngest Blanca self?
Well, the youngest Blanca, the little girl inside of me, has watched a lot of romantic chick flicks and has a very highly romanticized expectation of how a man should treat a woman. And I've seen too many movies, so I have a lot of dreams about where I'd like to be taken, how I'd like to be treated.
That's
And-
good.
And I think sometimes my expectations are too high. So that little girl needs to chill out a little bit and also be reasonable. What do you ladies think?
Well, I think that you go first, and I'm
It's
go.
like if you get that intuitively,
What is that?
and you receive whatever that is for yourself, whatever you want in that relationship, you're thinking about higher expectations, and I think there's fear sometimes when people go, oh God, I don't know if I could really do that. So it's almost like you're questioning yourself. I believe if you receive it and intuitively it feels good, I feel then that's the right thing. If someone says you can fly over to Italy or you can go over to Paris and you want to live there and it feels like it's the right thing, usually fear will come up like, oh, I don't know, how can I leave? Blah, 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 blah. I would look at that. I would say, then you know what? Go for it. And when you go for it, it will all fall into place. That's just how I feel. What do you feel?
I think that this is just my feeling, my opinion, and I think that when you get that part of you, whatever that is you want out there, whatever that romanticized self or that love of a man's body, whatever you're looking for, whatever that is, to treat you like the princess, the queen, then I really think that if we're doing that work with ourselves and really giving it to ourselves like it was like happening already, it would manifest. Number one, that's one. Two, I also think I agree with you with expectations. You got to check in with your expectations because they could be so ridiculously funny sometimes that you have to go, wait, is that a real expectation that's a reality, or is that just some fantasy, right? And then I think three is, I forgot what three is because my brain I'm in the menopause phase, perimenopause phase. So woo, went right out the door. But I do believe that integrity. That you have to have integrity with yourself, meaning if your goal is to meet a man that mirrors your highest self, let's just say, because it's, deep, but it mirrors that part of you that's the light, that's happy, that's successful, that's romantic, that's sexy, that's whatever, and you stay in that integrity. I'm not talking about expectations, but you stay with that and you don't deviate. If someone comes into your space and just wants to date you and you're like, oh, all right, I'll just do it. Don't do it, because you have to stay true to that part that is looking for that. And that's what I've learned, because I've been tested.
I was just tested.
So it's just a thought, in my experience,
And I do believe that if you can feel it and visualize it as it already has happened and you keep that, it'll happen. And sometimes it's a lesson that will show up. And then when that shows up, and it's not kind of what you thought it would be, but it shows you that you're complete with whatever that was.
Yep.
And now you were tested. You definitely went past the test. You passed it. That will open up to everything that you want to have happen, as long as you can feel it and believe it and already have it. It's just knowing you have it.
And trusting your intuition, right? Because if it's not right, you know it. And don't try to make it happen.
Yeah, and don't fix it.
Don't try to think, oh, well,
don't.
because it's not. You know when someone shows you who they are, trust it.
Yep.
It's the same thing with ourselves. When we show ourselves who we are, trust ourselves.
Yeah. And what we sometimes do is we go ahead, honey, I'm sorry. Sometimes what we do is we try to fantasize like, well,
it could be that way.
He could change. He ain't changing.
No.
Unless he wants to. That's not your problem. It's just not.
But I do think with the expectations, it's really writing down, what is your expectation in a relationship? What are they? Because when you write it down,
it's very
sit
powerful.
there and you go, what the frick is this?
Yep.
This is so not realistic.
Yep.
And then you can look at it and go, wow, that is realistic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So getting clear on that is a biggie too. There you go.
I love it.
So the other question I'm going to ask you is, what is a question to hope you have answered in your lifetime? What would be a question that you would love to have answered in your lifetime?
A question I would like to have answered that I don't know the answer to.
You would hope to have in your lifetime.
Oh, well, will I find my soulmate? I'd love to know the answer to that question.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And the other question is, how can you define a well-lived life?
I believe that is through the art of connection. I think that people and friends are the greatest form of abundance. And I think so many people, it amazes me as I walk down the beach, nobody makes eye contact with me. Nobody says good morning. Nobody says hello. It's like they think they have to be somewhere specific to connect. Yeah. I connect with everyone wherever I go, and that's my greatest joy, that my heart is open to connection. And that's what gives me joy. And I just want to keep finding new ways to connect with people, as many ways as I possibly can, because it just helps me keep traveling further, and it gives me tremendous joy. Material goods do not give me joy. I do enjoy traveling, but the friends that I've made through my journey give me my greatest joy, including Johnny Regan. Shout out to Johnny, who's watching right now.
Yes, hey, I see Johnny.
Woohoo.
So yeah, that's well, you know what I think, as far as that community and finding your tribe or whatever they use, I think that it all changed when COVID came in. And I do believe now, I feel it's like a full circle. I think people had to, I think it was good in some respects, because people really had to go within, more soul searching.
Yeah.
And come through it And I think it's a very, very different world today. I just think it's so different. And yet we all want connection. We're never supposed to be on this earth
Alone.
by ourselves. We're
Connection
not.
and love, right? And,
Well,
and to be
connection-
accepted and right. I mean, that's the thing. If the light I see in you is the light I see in me. So if
Yeah.
we share the light, then we
Yeah.
are light.
It's true. It really is true.
Right. So with that, which you kind of said a couple of things that you do, but what activities in your life light you up and bring you joy to your heart? Kind of said a couple of things, but we'll see.
Well, one of the things I really love doing is going to a really elegant cafe and having a cup of coffee with a good friend. I love walking down a street of nice shops and just looking in the window. I love walking on the beach. I love spending time with my children. They make me laugh hysterically. They're so funny. I love webcasting. I love practicing law. When I go into the office, it is such a joy to work at the major Peru's law firm. It's like walking into a family. I am so lit up. I have coffee with everyone. I say hi. I get them fired up. And they probably think I'm a little crazy, but that's okay.
You are. It's okay. We're
Yeah,
crazy
it is.
too.
It really
Makes
is.
it so much more
And
exciting.
I think when you are a little bit, I hate to use the word off, but a little weird, if that's what they see, what they see in you is something they would like.
That's true.
So you could be showing that aspect like, oh, she's like, do you ever see Blanca? She's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I like that. People don't realize that you go ahead and show them, you mirror to them the things that they want.
Yep.
And that they see. So it's just so powerful. It really, really is.
Yeah.
And I used to walk down the beach as well. And I had the same experience. People would never look at you. They'd look down. Or even if you came eye to eye with them and you were passing, and I go, oh, good morning. And they look at you like, are you
Like
crazy?
you're crazy. Yeah.
It's so weird. And then there are people that I've come across that would walk down the beach and go, you know what? God bless you. And I go, oh, thank you. Things that you're not normally want, that you hear, yet it's so nice to hear.
When you least expect
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I've been doing to connect with people on the beach now is I'll say, hey, they'll be in the ocean and there'll be a couple and it's like the sun is rising and it's the most beautiful scene. And I'm like, would you like me to take a video of you? And they're like, you really don't mind? I said, no, I'll do it for you right now. And then we connect.
Yeah.
And I text, so I just try to do nice things for people. I just like to make people smile. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
What just came to me? It's a little bit crazy, but you want people to come to you when you're in the water, just tell them there's a shark. Come on.
Or go naked. One or the other.
Good idea, Alicia.
I
That
tell
could
you.
be it.
Well,
Right
if
there.
I did, they'd run the
And
other
perhaps
way.
you would meet your soulmate.
Oh my God, that is so funny. So when it comes, did we ask about her childhood? What you enjoyed the most about your childhood?
Well, my parents were so loving. I mean, I really won the parent lottery. And every single day they hugged me and kissed me and told me they loved me and told me I was beautiful and that I could be anything I wanted to be. And they instilled a lot of confidence in me. And it's very, very important to do this for children because confidence is extremely important in the journey. And when you don't have that, you don't believe in the possibility of success. And I dream a lot bigger now because of them.
Well, and you said it too. You had the mindset already set.
Yeah.
In a way, because
did.
your parents showed you that
You
kind
know
of
how
love
lucky.
and connection. So that's why you're so great. And that's what your dharma is in life,
Yeah.
is to connect.
Yeah, totally.
And you do it in different ways. So
Yeah.
you were born into doing
Yeah.
that.
And
It is your dharma, for sure.
and so blessed. Oh my God, to have that foundation.
It's huge.
And my dad used to take me to networking events because he ran for office, and I would watch him do speeches and I would watch him shake hands. And he used to say, "Go in the room and shake 100 hands." I said, "Dad, I'm only 10. He goes, "So what? Go shake those hands, baby."
Makes perfect sense.
So now, did you instill that with your kids?
Interesting question, and the answer is 100% yes. I placed their communication skill was my top priority because I wanted them to feel socially confident. I wanted them to have a lot of friends. I wanted them to have the confidence to make friends. And frankly, communication was the most important thing. I really focused on teaching them how to read early. They both read at 18 months. We went to the park. We went to every possible public event you can imagine. And
You socialize them.
I highly socialized them, highly. And I'm proud of that. I didn't do everything perfectly. I wasn't the greatest disciplinarian. Probably didn't have them brush their teeth enough, spoiled them way too much, didn't teach them enough, but I'm happy that they are very social, wonderful, funny people.
I think
great.
that is just.
It is.
And I think it doesn't matter how much time you spend with them. It's the quality of time
And
that
it's who
they are
you
going to
were being.
remember.
And it's also
Yes.
who you were being for them.
Yeah, totally.
Because you know what they always say, watch what I do. Don't always do what I do. Or what was it? Like, do what I say, not as I do, in a
Right.
way. You know what I mean? Like, because
100%.
yeah.
Well, look, their whole childhood, I worked full time as an attorney, but I was with them every night. I was with them every weekend. I'm a big believer in quality time. You see a lot of parents on their cell phone, not going to the pool. My kids were in the pool. I was in the pool with them. I was at the birthday parties. I was there. I was, so
You're present.
I was, so the time we were together, I was there. But now we're in phase 2, and now they're telling me, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you for teaching us Spanish." They're both fluent in Spanish. It's an interesting second level of parenting now, because now they're able to look back and see some of those moments. So it's been very gratifying lately.
That's so great.
So-
You actually get to watch
Yeah.
them grow into what you taught them.
So what would you say to another parent whose now child is giving them, with the world being as it is,
Yeah.
what would you say to
Disconnected.
what would you say to that parent that's really struggling with their daughter or son or both? What would you say to them from your lessons with your children?
Well, I would say first of all, to, lead by example, like Alicia said. Obviously I stressed academics as much as I could, but they are who they are. One of them is more of an academic than the other one. It's just,
Correct.
Elliot's not a lover of academics. He's more of an entrepreneur. I loved academics. I loved going to school. I had the ability to sit in a library and study for 10 hours. That's just one of my skills. Leia is more academic than entrepreneurial.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, my kids, I let them be who they were, and I didn't judge them. Actually, at 18 months old, I tried to dress Leia, and she put on a striped blouse with a polka dot skirt. And I said, "Leia, those two pieces don't match. Baby, you need to change." She goes, "Mama, at 18 months, I can dress myself."
I get it.
And at that point, I was like, I let them be who they are. And they've had their phases where they've done things that aren't really optimal, that don't bring pride and joy to a parent. But I knew that those phases would pass.
Right.
And I think sometimes you have to let them be who they are and just support them the best you can.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
You did one hell of a good job, I got to say. You really and truly have.
And we're so
I'm
grateful that
just-
you spent this time with us, sharing
Yes.
all of your lessons and blessings
Yeah,
and
it's just
helping
like,
others go through. Maybe they're listening and they
Yeah.
need support,
Yeah.
or they need to hear what you said or what we all said. And boom, that's why we're doing this.
yeah. And Nim, could you run some of the things for Blanca as to how people can get her?
And
Across
contact
this-
her.
Yeah, and contact her and all that other good
Thank you.
stuff. Thanks, honey. And it's like looking at you from one
Can
place.
you not put your
I can't help it.
She
I'm-
keeps
I
putting
keep
her
on using my
hands in my
hands.
face. I'm like,
It's like
Oh my
looking at you
God.
from one place and seeing you in this place, like I said before, and it's like you blossomed into more of who you are.
the flower.
The flower.
The flower. You've opened
Yeah,
your flower
totally.
to a bouquet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's just such a pleasure to see that. It really, really is. So I mean, we are
Grateful and
so
blessed.
grateful to have you.
And it's so exciting to see what you're up
Yeah.
to today, and
And all the
the
good
world
stuff
needs
that you're
what you're
doing.
doing. So we're blessed that you're doing it.
You
And
guys-
so we thank you, sweetheart, so much.
Thank you so much. It really has been magical to spend this time with you, and I love you both so much.
We
Well,
love you
too.
and have the
Have
best
a
time
great
tonight,
time. Yeah, wherever you're going.
wherever you are, and
Enjoy.
Know you're loved.
You are loved, honey.
Love you guys, and thanks for everyone out there. Love you too.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, babe.